Good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss exception handling in Java. Here's a brief outline of the topics I am going to discuss. Introduction to exceptions, use of try-catch block, use of multiple catch blocks with a try block, use of finally block, use of multiple try-catch blocks, nested try-catch blocks, exception handling in methods. Now, exceptions are errors which occur at runtime, causing the program to end abruptly. Some examples of exceptions are division of an integer by 0, accessing an element which is out of bounds of an array, incompatible conversions, and many more. Now, in this program, here we see we have initialized few variables, and in this statement we can see as the value of b and c are same, this will result in a division by 0 and an exception will be thrown, which will cause the program to end abruptly, and this message will be shown to the user. This will show the type of exception that has occurred, like division by 0. It will display the class name, then the method name. It will also display the name of the file, and it will also display the line number at which the error has occurred. Now, Java provides you an exception handling mechanism through the use of try-catch block. Now what we do is we put all the code that may cause the exception inside the try block and the code that handles the exception inside the catch block. Now the same program, if we implement using try-catch block, now here we have put the statement which may cause the exception inside the try block as well as the statement which is dependent on this statement within the try block. So now when an exception will occur in this statement, then it will be handled by this catch block. Then after that, the normal sequence of the program will continue. So the output of the program will be like this. A user-friendly message division by 0 will be displayed to the user, and then after that the value of y will be printed. Now in this program, we are showing the use of multiple catch blocks to handle an exception. Now this is a program where we are inputting 2 arguments at the command line from the user. Now 3 types of exceptions may be thrown by this statement. First, if the value of the second argument is entered as 0, then this will result in an arithmetic exception which will be handled by this catch block. If instead of entering 2 arguments, user enters only 1 argument, then this args1 will become invalid, which will result in an array index out of bounds exception. And if the user, instead of entering an integer, user enters either text or double values, then what will happen is that it will result in a number format exception which will be handled by this catch block. So for different types of exceptions, we have different catch blocks. Next, in the same program, we have added a new block which is a finally block. Now finally block is used when we want certain set of statements to be executed irrespective of whether exception occurs or not occurs. For example, in this program, if an exception occurs at this statement, then the appropriate catch block will be executed and then the finally block will be executed. But if no exception occurs, then the value of x will be printed and then the finally block will be executed. And if in case a certain kind of exception occurs here, which is not caught by any of these catch blocks, still before the program is abruptly ended, still this finally block will be executed. Basically, the finally block is used in programs related to files where we put the file closing statement inside the finally block, as all the files that have been opened must be closed before the program ends. Now, in this program, we have changed the previous program in such a way that single catch block is used to handle exceptions, all kinds of exceptions thrown by this statement through the use of exception class. Now this exception class is the parent class for all the classes such as arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, number format exception. So any exception that is thrown here will be caught by this single catch block. So instead of writing multiple catch blocks, we can write a single catch block. Next, in this program, we are using multiple try-catch blocks. Here in this statement may cause an arithmetic exception which we are catching it through the arithmetic exception. Now if we see this code may cause an array index out of bound exception. So we have used the appropriate catch block. So we can use any number of try-catch blocks in our program. Next, we show an example of nested try-catch blocks. Now in this program, inside this outer try block, we have put another try-catch block. Now if an arithmetic exception occurs here, it will be caught by this catch block. But if an arithmetic exception occurs inside this inner try block, this will be handled by this catch block. And if an array index out of bound exception occurs here, it will be caught by this catch block. As we can see, both the outer as well as the inner try blocks are handling the arithmetic exception. For inner try block, this is optional. Even if we remove this code, the outer catch block will be able to handle exception which occurs inside the inner try block. As we see in this program, we have removed the arithmetic exception block, catch block from the inner try block. Still, if an arithmetic exception occurs here, it will be caught by this catch block. Next, in this program, we are showing how exception handling works in methods. From this try block, we are calling a function named calculate. Now, as we can see in this calculate function, as the value of y and z are same, this will result in an arithmetic exception which is not being caught by this calculate function. But because this function has been called from inside the try block, this exception will be handled by this catch block. But if this function is throwing an exception which is not being caught by this catch block, then it will have to handle that exception on its own. As we can see in this program, we have made certain changes in the calculate function. Now this calculate function is inputting two values from the user and it is dividing them and then displaying the result. Now if the user, instead of entering integer values, enter either text or double values, then it will throw an input mismatch exception which will be caught here. But if the user enters integer values but enters the value of b as 0, then this will result in an arithmetic exception which this calculate function is not handling. So it will be handled by this catch block because we have called the calculate function from inside the try block. So as we have seen today, that Java provides a very robust environment for handling exceptions. So that's all for today. Thanks.